All right, all right. Should be live right now. I have a few of you guys in here so far. Because we can get started. Just two for now. Huge job by Milan to get off with another win. Early on in the season, 6 of the first 7 matches. Hey guys, hey Steph, hey Ryan. Uh, Nice. I'm glad you're here. I won't be on for too long, maybe like 25, 30 minutes. See how it goes. Forza Milan, Forza Milan, Forza Milan. Indeed. Great win, great win. Everybody, I'm incredibly tired. Just forewarning you guys. But yeah, we got the win. Like, comment, subscribe if you guys have not already. For this, I just had to turn on monetization real quick. But appreciate it. Christian, 3 goals. Yeah, 1 assist in 7 games played. I think he's been great. Today was his best match, in my opinion. I thought Pulisic really got off to a strong start in Serie A, and I think that he's really showing why he was heavily sought after at Dortmund. Again, obviously, I knew this as an American, so like we saw what Christian was capable of. I think a lot of fans were off put by the fact that he's American, I guess, was kind of a big part of it. But I mean, he just clearly shows that he is a technically gifted player where he's able to switch the ball with his left foot. He can shoot with his right. I mean, he's an intelligent player. And then you see it again today on that goal. That run was fantastic. But even Yunus Musa coming on too, if we want to keep it on the topic of the Americans at the same time, like, oh my God, like how could you dislike anything you've seen from these two guys to start the year? Honestly, most of the signings at this point, I don't think we've been disappointed by anybody. Florenzi's even stepping up himself as well. We saw Adley again today. So there's a lot to get into. I'll try and pull up as many comments as I can as I go through all of this. Rafa had a really rough start until the second half. I thought he struggled. And everybody, like, I had one tweet which was so funny. I was just like, he's having a stinker today, and he assisted a minute later. So the jinx was insane, but I don't understand why people think that I meant it as in like I don't like Rafael Leao or I think he's bad. All I was saying was he was poor up until that point, and it was true. So whatever. It's just funny. 90 degree. I've seen 3 matches. Yeah, Captain America. Anthony, I'll get to your question in a second. You jump in so far ahead, dude. I just wanted to start from the beginning. Musa. Yeah, well, yeah, Ray's there. Rafa turned it on. Russo's more Italian than American. Oh, yeah, no, very true. He's more Italian. He's more English than he's American. I want to stick to Pulisic real quick. So, in a match like this, we kind of felt like Chukwueze would maybe get the nod. You would think it's sort of a rotation, seeing as how well he played in his recent appearances. To kind of get that start again and that vote of confidence from your manager is a huge boost. And to do it and score against a team that is supposed to be one of the top 6 sides in Serie A, but Lazio's off to a terrible start, as we all know. So not only does Milan position themselves very well for top 4, they beat the other top 4 competitors that they were supposed to be facing so far, outside of Inter. Obviously, they're going towards the title with that one. But as far as teams that you could chase into the top 4 that you would have been worried about prior to the season, in Roma and Lazio, Milan have taken care of them 4-1 over both of the matches. Ruben Loftus-Cheek's injury, I don't believe to be dangerous. I can try and pull up some tweets real quick. We also have a new media thing. So let's see how this looks. Ready? You let me know, guys. I think this is pretty good. So yeah, as you can see, Pioli says that Loftus-Cheek has a muscular issue in his abdominals. Hopefully it's nothing serious. The initial report was that he hurt his pubic area. But that's just a quick update right there. As far as Pulisic goes, I think this was a man in the match performance. I thought from minute 1 to the second that he was subbed off, I think he was clearly the best player for Milan. Rafa's rating is going to probably skyrocket again. And, you know, like if you're talking about a complete match, it could be different. But Rafael Leao, that's the impact. Like this, when people complain about him not tracking back and all that nonsense, it's overrated when you can do this. When you can assist like that, when you can make a run where you're unguardable one on one, it's impossible to keep the guy in front of you. And he should have had more too, and that's why he had a difficult start that first half. He had a couple of opportunities. The one shot was pretty good that Providel parried for a corner, but this is why tracking back is overrated sometimes. Not every player has to do that. If you want that sort of obsession, go back and watch Alexis Salamakers, who, by the way, got sent off with 2 yellow cards for Bologna. Giroud flicks were driving me crazy. Him and Kier were struggling mightily today. But, there was, even though those players were struggling mightily, they impacted the game at different moments in time. So I think they stepped up on occasion. So that was nice to see. With that, hello, Marsami. Yeah, Anthony, let me get to your question real quick that you said, and this is just kind of overall with all this stuff. I can't do that real quick. All right. So, anyways, you asked about Noah Okafor being the main starter for Milan at the number 9 position. I don't think that's something that Pioli is going to take away from Olivier Giroud. I don't think so. So with that, I think he has instilled so much trust to him that he needs or feels that he has to start him in matches like this. Like, you notice he could sit him midweek against Cagliari. He doesn't care. But in a match against Lazio, where a player like Giroud has a lot of experience in, and it's not to say Noah Okafor doesn't. He's played in the Champions League. He's won titles in Austria. It's not so much about that. I think it's just really that sort of respect for a player like Giroud, who has done a lot for the club so far in his first 2 years here, and it's probably his last year. I get why he starts in some of these games. I think he's going to get more. I think there's more time for Giroud to rest. I think Jovic is going to get more time in there. Okafor is clearly going to get the trust. He produced twice in getting legitimate minutes and matches that he can make an impact. Like myself and Santangelo kept telling people, Noah Okafor was getting in games that were already dead, or they were down a man in the Roma match. So they weren't really capable of, trying to score more, or that wasn't the priority at that point. In a 1-0 game, as we saw, he comes on, he makes a significant impact scoring there. That goal was really all Rafael Leao, but Okafor deserves credit for positioning himself and finishing that chance. Again, poacher's goal, man. Those are 2 of his goals were inside, very close to the net. So really happy to see something like that. But yeah, he can't start some of those games, basically. What we got here? Football drawn. First half is boring. Yes, correct. Milan had multiple chances in the first. They really should have put away more. Is kind of where I'm at with that. Does anybody want to talk about my guy Alessandro Florenzi? I mean, called upon almost every single time this season. Out of position, left back, right back, substitute starter. He's there, man. He's producing. What's kind of frustrating about Inter is when they kind of get their older national team players, or has been national team players like Acerbi and even Darmian. They produce so well for Inter. For Milan, like Florenzi's always hurt. I mean, if he could step up and be a viable option here, you see Kalulu play in this match. Just waiting for a couple more updates with Vitiello. I don't think anything different from that quote with Pioli about his abdominals. I would assume it's nothing serious. Was subbed out really early, but I don't know. Yeah, Okafor has better hold-up play than most think. Hey, Jason, how are you? Okafor is a breath of fresh air. And I was so happy about this signing when we made it, and to just kind of see it hit the ground running. I feel like I catch myself in this where Milan signings get off to a rough start at the club. This is one of the few times that I think we've seen someone get off and hit the ground running from match day one. Probably Giroud would be one of those. But that's a totally different scenario because of the players that we have been targeting. Again, man, I genuinely love watching him play. Florenzi is growing on me. Good. He's a nice guy. We share a birthday. Yeah. Hey, there's that Galliani quote. It's like a new signing. Against Dortmund, we need speed. Okafor must start the game. I mean, yeah, we'll see what happens. It's a quick turnaround to Dortmund, as we all know. Second match there. I watched them play yesterday. They still won despite getting a red card. I mean, they just have so much in terms of attack. We really need Chao and Tomori to be on their day. I want to know everybody's impressions of Yunus Musa, because you guys finally catch up to what Yunus Musa is. And it's an incredibly talented player for the club. And I think that personally, he has shown so much in just the few matches that he has played, considering his age. And it just goes to show that entire situation at Valencia is a fucking disaster. Like, we all knew it. Excuse my language, but to sit there and, like, if you watched any of those games, like, they were a terrible team. I don't even think, like, personally, sometimes when you see a club like Valencia having to be that low on the table where relegation's being discussed towards the end of the season, there's nothing left to say. It's a massive failure for a club of that size, very much like it's a massive failure for Roma to start the season. And so with that, I'm not going to go point my fingers to the 20-year-old, to the kid. You just don't do that. First of all, one of the more talented players on those teams, like, where are the veterans in this situation? What are they doing? Are they righting the ship well? I mean, Valencia is just a terrible environment. Peter Lim still owns the club. I just think they're a joke. And the disdain of comments that Musa got was just crazy. Certain things were understandable, like poor decision making, propensity to pick up a lot of yellow cards. But at the end of the day, he's a kid. A lot of kids make mistakes like that. It's very similar to defenders, right? In the sense that a lot of defenders, when they're younger and in their early 20s, they're prone to making more errors. Same thing as kids, like, it's just the way things go. It comes with experience and time. And Musa obviously has a plethora of experience. He's not short of that in his career. But, people have to understand he's still going to be susceptible to that, despite how young he is. But again, really phenomenal athlete for this league. You saw it almost immediately when he had his first appearance for the club, where he drove the ball up the pitch like 70 yards. It was the second match against Torino at home, because he was suspended for the first game against Bologna. But again, the rotation of midfielders, guys, there's a very real argument to be made right now that Tommaso Pobega is the weakest link out of all the midfielders. And that's not a bad place to be as a team. That is not a bad place to be. A mid-table starter caliber midfielder in Pobega, Serie A mid-table. I think that's a good option to have if you're fifth or sixth choice. There's plenty of minutes to be had to try and rotate and give the team all he can. So, but I got to say, though, Yassine Adli is just... I mean, guys, we could talk about him as well. I mean, there's just plenty of these signings at this point that are just, doing fantastic. So if you guys have not yet, we have 96 of you in here. Wow, quite a few. So we're going to hang out for a little bit then. What I need from you guys, if you have not joined the channel just yet or subscribe to the channel, please do. If you're here, comment, say hello. Hello to all of you. Like up the video as well, like we always ask. 28. There's the Twitter accounts in the descriptions, my Instagram as well, right here on the lower third. Matt's description as well. Sorry, Matt is in the description with his YouTube channel, Twitter feed. Jesus, I'm a disaster right now. If only Reinders can finish. Yeah, they both need to. They both need to work on that stuff. What's the comment here? Jason B. Pulisic, Reinders, Okafor, RLC. Yeah. Hey, man, I mean, wait till you find out who the scout was for all the other players. It's Moncada in general. His handprints are all over this club and this team. Yeah, that's absolutely going to happen. It's going to be Benacer in the middle. Great problem to have. Pulisic to score midweek. We'll see. Yassine Adli. Yeah, so we could talk about him. Talk about rising to the occasion and showing your manager what he's been missing this entire time. I mean, honestly, see, like, if we really think about it, what this kid was capable of. Positionally, he was definitely not ready for a regista last year, but to play in Serie A and to produce, I think he was. I think he proved enough in Ligue 1 to do that. Different league, different adaptability, but Pioli saw him as a regista. So he finally gets him this opportunity after Krunic goes down. That's the second it happened. He wasn't getting minutes prior to that. Krunic was getting every single minute. The second Krunic comes back, he's still going to take that starting spot from Adli unless he's obscene. But the conversation now revolves around what Milan are capable of doing in the transfer market. Okay, so this is my angle for the long term, guys. So cut this 16 minutes. Just someone make a comment. You know what? I'm just going to write down this. So we're going to do this just to get a clip up, guys. I know this is going to seem silly, but 16:10 we'll go with. So Yassine Adli, and if he is capable of being this midfielder that Milan can rely upon, put him in at the regista position, we don't have to worry about the outside midfielders where it's back-to-back. The odds that Milan are going to be missing their two key registas ahead of him are going to be highly unlikely towards the future. Obviously, this situation just happened to be there with Benacer tearing his knee. But with that, I bring to you the idea that Milan won't have to add midfielders for quite some time. That's not a position of need anymore. If you know Yassine Adli's in there, you know, that talk and that conversation of, you know, Dominguez coming in from Bologna or another defensive midfielder, that's not the case anymore. At this point in time, Yassine Adli, if he takes full control of that spot, Milan can invest significantly in the striker position or the defensive position because of and I say center back, because when you don't have holes like that in your midfield, you could really reallocate your budget to elsewhere. So really what you look at right now in terms of the 11, I think long term they will need a new starting right back, in my opinion. I'm not that big of a fan of Calabria, but they're short up in pretty much every single starting position except one of the center back spots for the long term. We'll see how Chow and Tomori do, but at least depth-wise, they could use another one. We'll see how Kalulu does. But with that, we also have that striker position. Giroud 1 year left on his contract. Jovic dry loan. We have no Okafor. He's looked good. The striker position is missing. And if you don't have to worry about additions in the midfield, guys, put a lot of money towards a striker. And if they make it out of the Champions League group stage, that's serious money coming into the club at that point. So RLC's injury has got an abdominal injury, Menes. How are you, brother? Is this the president of the Ukraine? I missed the comment. The podcast yesterday, if you guys saw that, I had the shirt on that made me look like Zelensky. So if you want to go and check that one out with Nick Diani, it was the preview for today's game. Yeah, Zion. Florenzi is way better than Calabria, but I'd keep both moving forward. I would add to that because I don't. We'll see how Jimenez does. The kid at the Primavera level. We'll see if they keep him longer term. Exactly. It's scary. Pellegrino clearly not ready. Thank you, Menez. Very nice of you. With all the crossing, Jonathan David wouldn't be the striker for the job. I'm not totally big on David, but there's just something that tells me that relationship between Lille and Milan, the amount of time left on his contract, and also just who's Milan realistically going to be able to afford that's sort of in their price range that they could use and put with their team. It's limited. 115 of you in here. Holy goddamn. How are all of you? Great to have you in here. Like I said, if you're new to the channel, please like, comment, subscribe. Your thoughts on this. I would say if we can get to 70 likes, that would be phenomenal. I would love to get 100 likes on a live stream video. That really helps the channel, helps recirculate everything, and hopefully get us more listeners for the podcast. Milan just tweeting out a couple of things. Just Vitiello saying stuff. I haven't seen much else. If there's news that I should be getting to, let me know, guys. Musa, what's striker option? Hello, Eric. Like of the video. What is our plan for Francesco Camarda? They will be signing him to his first professional contract when he is 16 on March 10th, according to multiple reports. So again, you could only sign for 3 years at that age. With that, I don't know if Santangelo is around. Do we try and get Santangelo? Let me know if we should hit up Santangelo right now. See if he. I think he's away. Any other comments? But yeah, Francesco Camarda, in my opinion, gets minutes come May. Not right, Menez. Not right. Start him the day he turns 16. I still think he's gonna get minutes come May. I'm gonna say I'm live. But yes, I think overall this performance from Milan was fantastic. I think that just overall beating Lazio and beating one of these competitors. We talked about how difficult the schedule was going to be to start the season. This was kind of the first true test of that, gap of games that's going to be really difficult because you have Dortmund now, and then you have the games against PSG in the Champions League. Let's get the matches exactly. So Dortmund, Genoa, Milan, and Juve, PSG, Napoli, Udinese, PSG. Lecce is playing well, Fiorentina, then Dortmund. That pretty much takes us all the way through the end of November. That's the schedule. That's going to be really tough. It was huge for Milan to pick up 3 points in games like these. Okay. This is one of their better starts that they've had. If it wasn't for that debacle in the Derby, I mean, ADL would laugh us out of Napoli because we wouldn't even come in with an offer like that. I think he gets around 5 sub appearances after it, a lot more. Yeah. And also, it could change everything long term. Like, say, I'm not saying it's going to happen, but imagine a world in which Francesco Camarda actually gets first team minutes this season and he somehow manages to score. Do you realize, again, what I was just saying about the Yassine Adli thing and the projection and how different midfielders and this and that? Do you realize, like, what they can actually do at that point? Like, they have so much flexibility. So much flexibility because, okay, well, this teenager is incredible. He could be our striker for the future, and he's already showing us enough. We have no Okafor. We just get a third guy. Your right wing positions are okay. Your left wing positions, maybe just get another reserve or backup there. I mean, it's just there's a lot of options. There's a lot of options to be had for this club. And they're financially in the best position they've been in 17 years. That says a lot. That says a lot about the team and the position that they're in. And it starts with guys like Christian Pulisic that come in and start producing that don't necessarily need to do that much. Stop. This is just no. This is just Camarda has so much more to his game. I'll say something. I don't even think it's that controversial. Today, Francesco Camarda is better than Patrick Cutrone. Like literal Patrick Cutrone today, the player that he is. He's better than him. No doubt. And I love Cutrone. I have his jersey. I was the last time I made a decision on a player like that young. You got to show me something for a while. Otherwise, I wouldn't. So let's get a poll up, guys. How about that? Do we want to get a poll? And with the poll, we'll have our usual man of the match. I got to start making like mini segments within the show. So we'll go with what? Leão, Pulisic, however you want to say it. Who else we'll go with? We'll go with Adley. Other is who we'll go with. All right. So we'll start the poll right now. You guys can go with that. Oh, Tijani Reinders. There you go. There's a comment for him. Zlatan was there today. Yeah. Come back to the club. I don't know if Zlatan will in that role. It's difficult to see such a megastar kind of take that big of a step back so soon. Would you say that Camarda is more promising than no. Listen, Camarda is fantastic as a younger talent. But if you saw Pato, I'll be honest with you, I have yet to see a youngster in Serie A under the age of 20 to even come close to what he was. Close. Like no one's close. No one. And arguably like world football, I think from the time that Pato debuted at his age and how incredible he was, The only player that I can remember that was better, I th- it, well, yeah, well, he debuted after Messi. Um, I'm almost positive. I would say Neymar or Mbappe. I mean, Mbappe is the best, one of the best under 20 players that I've ever seen, but especially the past 10 years. Dele Alli was up there. He was an incredible player for his time. Since Pato is what I'm kind of referring to as teenagers go. But if you saw what Pato was supposed to be the best striker of his generation and one of the best players of all time. That's how good he was. Um, to see that like fall off was just it's still the most demoralizing thing I can remember as a fan to see a player go through that because you knew you like he was scratching the surface and at that age to just be at that level like it was so scary. What you should look at the matches he had against Napoli when he was young. I believe in the 2010 season, the Scudetto winning season, he scores 14 goals, splits with Robinho and Zlatan. Nah, Pato is something different, man. Just a totally different type of talent. We'll see how Camarda goes. Camarda, I think with players like this, we kind of set bars and expectations at each level, right? So with a player like Francesco Camarda, you see, okay, prior to this, he hasn't gotten to the Primavera yet. How does he do with the Primavera? Immediate impact, one of the best players. Guys are like 4 or 5 years older than him, and he's just whipping them up and down. And it's just like incredible what he's capable of doing. And doing it against some of the elites. So then you say to yourself, okay, well, let the entire season play out. Maybe he gets figured out. Maybe he has difficulty adjusting physically. But there's like no signs of it. And the most important thing I would say, he looks calm, composed at almost every turn. With Mastor, that was never the case. Mastor was struggling to produce at the Primavera. Everybody was saying how mediocre he was most of the time. Mastor was more of a trickster than anything. The hype that he got at that time, social media existed in the short clip realm, but it wasn't at the level of what we have today. So like when you saw clips from Mastor at the Primavera level or the youth level, he was just doing a bunch of skill tricks and all that and scored a couple of goals. What you have now with Francesco Camarda is far more access um, into seeing what type of player he is. Camarda more like Giroud? No, I mean I wouldn't call him young anything. He's his own player. I don't like doing that. A player really has to remind you of somebody. Camarda, whenever I see him play, I don't get that comparison. Not many players, I would say, great players I can ever think of. I think a lot of footballers are unique in their own way. Um, but when you see someone like, what's his face? When you see a player like Rafael Leao, way too unique to ever be compared. His style of dribbling, his size, his speed, um, just how he is as a person. You know what I mean? Like it really just depends. Camarda reminds you of a taller Shevchenko. Well, God bless if you're correct. I want you. I like. It's highly unlikely, brother, but I hope you're right. I hope you're right. I think everybody here hopes you're right. Taller Shevchenko is just the greatest player of all time, I guess you could say. Sheva didn't have any issues with the lack of height, though, as we all know. Um, but yeah, a great win for Milan. 100 of you guys in here. Appreciate this with the stream. I mean, just toss a couple questions my way if you guys want. We'll hang out for a little bit more. Tell me some of the stuff that you might like to see from the channel if you don't particularly love the way the podcast is recorded sometimes or stuff like that. We do the best we can. We're recording in 1080p now, so we're at the highest level of quality. So hopefully that's nice. Crazy. You guys are crazy. Yeah. The RLC updates, like we mentioned, was just his pubic area, abdominal area. Watch alongs in the future, maybe. I just got speakers now, so I'm capable of it. Oh, speaking of watch alongs, that's what we could put up on the side. So we'll pull up the intergame for a second here. Thank you, Dan. 100 viewers, yeah. 100 viewers, great. On the dot. Please don't leave, please. Okay, let's go see what Inter and Salernitana are doing. Do not tell me the score of this. I don't think I'm allowed to play the audio through. So 8.5 minutes in, Salernitana. Okay, yeah. So, anyways, Davide Fratesi was also someone who picked up an injury. I don't believe he's playing in this match. Oh, by the way, I just remembered that Pedro goal that got called offside. Holy shit! Holy shit! That was insane. I wasn't even mad at that point. I knew we were gonna win, but oh my god, that Pedro goal that got called off was one of the best of the season. That was just insane. That curler. First time to catch this live. Pulisic mentality has changed. This game was limping at the end of last match. Yeah, I don't know. It's probably something separate. RLC wasn't that seriously injured the past time. Thoughts on Lazio? Provedel is awesome. Provedel's a very good keeper. I like him. I think he's capable of getting minutes with the national team, but Donnarumma would have to bring in a lot of his errors. Okay, wait, Inter in the box right now. Ooh, Dumfries skies it over. I feel like Pioli goes back to 4-3-2-1. I think Reinders starts against Dortmund, guys. I think we see. I don't know. It really depends on the health of Loftus-Cheek. No, I wouldn't even have been mad if they counted that. You just can't get mad at that. Pulisic was very mad at the ref at one occasion. That was a very physical match in general today between Milan and Lazio. I mean, Yassine Adli could have got a yellow card almost immediately. So glad to see Mike is back again. What was his issue? He just had a lower leg injury. It wasn't really so much an injury. It was just kind of like a soft knock. And they were just like, let's play it safe. We keep you out these next two games that we should be able to win with Sport Yellow. We did. Sport Yellows look great. Another guy that they signed for free. For free. You probably talked about this, but Tomori, that's my guy. Fick, crossing the box by Inter. Fick is my guy. I mean, when Fick is bad and he has some stinker performances, it could get nasty. But the consistency in which he steps up in some of these games, man, Thuram almost scored for Inter. Corner kick again, 11th minute. Yeah, so I think with that, the pace of this match is how both teams tried to attack and felt like a Premier League. But yeah, Tomori was awesome today, Rocky. 100% agree. I really thought he was good. He's just been consistently one of the top defenders. Let's go and check on the poll. In the meantime, 43%. Ooh, it's close between Leao and Pulisic. If we have any Americans in here, let me know. Say hello. If you're a U.S. men's national team fan, let me know where you are in the country. If you're tuning in because of the title of the video, which says Christian Pulisic has scored against Lazio. And that's how I get so many people in here. Cross inside the box by Inter. Barella circles it around. Goes to Hakan. Hakan swings it in on his left foot. Cleared out. Salernitana on the break right now. And they give it back over. David Klaassen has the ball back to Darmian. Texas. Jason's from Texas. How you doing, bro? Glad you're here. Why is Ryan just so unlucky? And yeah, there's a lid on the goal right now, and he's just not capable of. Hey, okay. Brooklyn, New York. I'm up in Westchester. Trini. Hello, Daryl. Thanks for tuning in. Steph, are you American? Mexican American? I've been wanting Pulisic. Really? Okay. Are you one of those haters? Zion's in Florida. Okay. What do you call it? Heavenil? I'm sorry if I'm saying it wrong. I apologize. But you're not one of those U.S. men's national team haters. Yeah, Anthony, I know is from Louisiana. You mentioned that because you're a Spice guy. Chicago, Joey in Chicago. Yeah, Barstool moved out there. I don't know how many stoolies are in here. Probably not that many. We have 120. So yeah, Salernitana Inter off on the side. Canada is still North American. Yeah, I mean North America is Australian. Okay, Steph. You're up late. I'm Nigerian, but cheer for USA. Live in Cleveland. Oh, okay, Rocky. Okay. Carlo, I'm from New York. My mother's from Rome. Erling Haaland in the chat. Everybody say hello to Erling. What will it cost to get you here to Milan? Yeah, Reinders does have 32 finishing. Poor guy. He almost scored against Cagliari too. SoCal Jimenez looking really good as a Mexican American. I'd love to have him. Yeah, they got linked to him recently, Edgar. Pretty sure. Okay. From Germany. We got LA in here. We're all over the place. It's a worldwide club. Vancouver. Yeah, the hometown of Ficayo. Opta. I believe we won the Scudetto in 95. We made the final against Ajax in the Champions League. We lost. We won the Scudetto in 2003, 2004. We obviously won the Scudetto in 21, 22. Mm-hmm. That's interesting. Fact check me on 94, 95 though. I know for sure the other two were Scudetto winners. Okay. Thank you for stopping in, Carlo. Grazie. Mia mamma sono di Roma, e Calabria as well, San Lucido, and then Napoli and Sicily. There's my dad's side of the family, but don't have any family in Sicily. The mob kicked us out, kicked my grandfather out because he lived on Corleone and then came to America. And then my grandmother was from Napoli, but none of them really watched football like that. They came here in like the 50s, 40s, late 40s, early 50s. Milan finished 4th in 94, 95. Thank you for the fact check. What do we have here? From Vegas, we got America's best Sicilian. That's a fucking audacious claim. I'm not saying you don't have it, but that's Vegas would not be the number one spot. Yeah, I knew we were runners up in the Champions League in 95. As the year I was born. We lost to Clarence Seedorf and Ajax. The last time Ajax had won the Champions League. We'll take an AC Milan tattoo when we get 2 stars. You do that, Daryl. I have 1 tattoo, but that's not that. Best pizzas in Argentina. All right, now we're just getting crazy in this chat, bro. Inter's pretty much controlling the game right now. 16 minutes in, 0-0 score. They're away to Salernitana because obviously we are playing at San Siro. Tijani Reinders, man in the match for you, Ahmed. Reinders was awesome today. Honestly, just a couple of really solid performances. He doesn't always like wow you. Wait. Speaking of, I love Reinders. I love Reinders. What do you mean who scored? Sorry, George. You're asking about this match for Milan? Pulisic scored, and so did Noah Okafor. Okafor has 2 goals. Only started 1 match. He has as many goals as Marcus Thuram does. Thuram's been awesome. I know he scored and dunked on us. He has his assist as well. But in comparison to the other players that Milan were linked to, Noah Okafor, 2 goals. That's what you want to see. Musa is on... That's a penalty. That looked like that might be a penalty. I guess he went down easily, but that was almost a penalty in that Inter game. For Inter. He's offside. Okay. Turn the ball over. We'll see what this decision is here. I think Thuram's still laying in the box, but there could be a penalty for Inter here in a second. We'll see about the replay. Musa looks better and better each game. A real plan, a real club for a player of his caliber. They finally get that. Guys, did we get the 70 likes yet on the channel? Yes, we got that. Yes. Get it to 80, please. Awesome. I really appreciate it. I just try and set small goals. Disclaimer, I'm incredibly tired and hungover at the same time, but I wanted to still end up doing a review. Barf says no. Great. So we move on with that. Let's see. Is that Alexis Sanchez starting today too? Let's get cross in the box for Inter. Dumfries tries heading it. No. Speaking of Mexico, Ochoa in net for Salernitana today. Bro, Musa's just been getting mugged, bro. Mugged. No, he's not. No. A lot of people don't understand it. He's just a 20-year-old kid, and he's just scratching the surface. Once he gets more consistent playing time, adapts to the league, even more experience at his age, it is so big for the U.S. men's national team. Like, bro, do you know how great it is? Almost like every single time now that people are just going to be curious about Milan, and it's cool because we have good American players, but the potential here is to have fans interest in a country of over 300 million people to be interested in the club for many years to come, because that's how long these kids could stay here. Pulisic's still very young, just turned 24, I believe. He's 25. Musa, very young. I mean, come on now. I wouldn't go for Gio Reyna. I don't think he fits in our system. I think he needs more experience. He's often injury prone. I don't know how big that has to do with Dortmund, but Reyna needs to play. His contract is running out over there. The source that was linked with it in Milan was Don Ballon. So again, if you're not as familiar with Milan-related news stuff, it's not a good source. That's not a good source at all. So do not go off of Don Ballon. I'm definitely saying it wrong. I'm such a white motherfucker. Pulisic loves it here. You could tell. You saw how Pioli. Nah, yeah. Thuram went down pretty easy on that on replay. But yeah, well, I'll be on here for another like 5 minutes or so. If we can get up to 80 likes. If you have not liked already, I'm going to end the poll right now. We get our man of the match, and it is going to be not Christian Pulisic. It's Rafael Leao. Leao is man of the match. So congrats to him. What do we got here? Ochoa has no arms. Damn, that's messed up. USA is the only team that can compete with. I would agree with that, George. But even then, competing is generous. Generous indeed. What else do we have here? Pioli was joking with Pioli when he came on talking about it. It's just wrong. That's just wrong. Ali had the potential to become the missing link we never knew we needed. Oh, no. I think a lot of us knew we needed it, and we also wanted it. We wanted Adley to start. I don't know how many of you guys, but if you follow me and you know me, I've been banging at the drum for this Adley situation forever. I'm not saying like he was or isn't going to do something or perform to a high level. My whole point was for a while was this, and that's Salernitana might have a chance here. What are you doing? Release him. Pass that. What are you doing? They're swarming you with the ball. Oh my God. They don't score. Inter against the run of play right now. That's a terrible touch. Was that Lautaro? No, that was Barella. My God, Salernitana. Taking 50 years to make a decision. Just shoot it or pass it through. Can't rely on these teams, man. They're bozos. This is exactly why they're always in these positions. Look at this. It's 2-1-7. Inter have 7 guys behind the ball here. Salernitana is just going to get caught on the break. What a joke. Leao is so good. Leao's incredible. Incredible player. Probably going to be tweeting out his stats later on. Really, really incredible to see. Thank you again for everybody that tuned on in for this. We'll go through like at least the 25th minute or something like that. Just as long as we keep getting likes. If we get to 100 likes somehow, definitely I'll do this for at least a full hour. But if you have more questions regarding Pulisic, send them on in. Correct, George. And that's kind of what I was alluding to earlier. Maybe if you joined late, but I was saying the allowed flexibility of the club now, financially, tactically, talent-wise, to have a guy like this produce is just, yes. This team needed a break with somebody that was relatively useless. What do I think of Timmy DeWay? I think he's a good player. I think he's a rotational piece on a really good team like he is at Juve. No problem, George, at all. No problem. You're fine, man. You're not late. You're on time. I appreciate you tuning in. Like the video, subscribe if you have not already. Oh, Salernitana with an opportunity here. You have to lay that off. Oh my God, what are you doing? Salernitana should have 2 goals right now. Inter do not look that good. They look pretty sluggish. Hakan with the interference there. Gets that. Salernitana is really pinning Inter back right now. So this is definitely going to be a counterattack type of vibe for them today. Oh, shot went wide of goal. There's a toe poke drag. Oh, that would have been an incredible finish to get that bend on that. Yeah, no problem at all, Steph. I know I have to do lives too though. No. Spursies was all BS. You want to know why it's BS? Well, first of all, you could sell the rights to the stadium. That's what Milan plan on doing. They have the financing for it. Also, by the time that's done, Milan's going to be in a totally different position. So, like, they're hoping to start building in 2025 within the next 18 months if they get approved. So, you're really looking at 2025. You're obviously not going to start this year. Maybe sometime in 2024. So it's okay, George. It's okay. You have your team. No worries, man. You're kind enough you joined in. No worries. But as far as the stadium maker, sorry, to continue that thought, they're going to be able to sell those rights, match day tickets. I think they'll be fine. They're tender profit right now, right? So when you think about that being done and their financial fair play issues are done in 2026, which is like insane. That's how long that deal Gazidis took. But it forced Milan to be a healthier club. Injuries have already hit Inter though, Steph. Fratesi, you see, yeah. Hakan just got the yellow. How far back was I? Jumped to live. Okay. I might have been a bit ways back there on the delay. So Salernitana pushing again. But yeah, we'll see them be financially healthy in the future, and that's going to be a big boost for them. Let's drink some water. Is my audio coming in okay? Just let me know. If we get to 100 likes on YouTube, I will live stream this rest of the first half. 83 likes. Time for the Pulisic. I have the Pulisic one on. I wish I had a t-shirt. Is this a corner for Salernitana in the 26th minute? So let's see what happens here. No, I like to wear the jerseys of new players. I might change it up though. Display Pro Shop is awesome. If you guys haven't heard of them, they send one in to me, Stephen K. Moore. They're basically connected to magnets at the back. So you just get a screw and you put the screw into the wall, and then there it kind of acts like a hook. And with that hook, you have the magnets attaching. So you fold it on the other side, and you get multiple magnetic chips. Wait, crossed in by Salernitana, cleared out. So you just get those clips at the back of it. It connects to the jersey, so you don't. It's not like those regular frames that you would have. You actually just change any shirt you like. So, if you guys have a request for a kit, let me know. I have El Shaarawy, I have Kaká, I have just a number 3 Maldini kit on the back. I have the Rafael Leao away kit. I have training kits. I have older El Shaarawy kits. I have a Balotelli kit. Cutrone, like I mentioned. I have a Romagnoli kit still. I have a Benacer kit. I have a Tonali kit. What am I missing? Zlatan. I have a Zlatan kit. And I believe that's it. I don't have anyone else. I don't have a Teo. Okay, well, Inter's moving right here. Okay, cross. Dumfries keep that in. He did. See, Inter going to try and cross this in. You think Dortmund game is a must win? Yes. Well, must win on the road. Okay, so for me, I would say must win in the sense that I think all Champions League games are must wins. So I would say yes. Adnan, thank you. Hello from New York to Ghana. Incredible how the internet is. Hello, Lisa. Lisa Nardi. Okay, unrelated, but the yellows for dissent this season are killing me. You can tell some players don't even want to look at the ref. Yeah, well, that's just wait. Oh, but your comment also had more. Kills off some of the passion. Yeah, I mean the Balo kit. Yeah, it's with the white collar one, and those kits were not great. Two little shotteries. Yeah, I didn't buy kits for a few years when we stunk. I was like, the club doesn't deserve my money. I'm not gonna get. And I also just didn't like anybody. Who is even that likable on the teams that you buy the kit for? Like, like kits are pretty expensive. So when you have that option, I don't want to spend like 100 and something bucks on someone I don't like. I know I bought a Cutrone jersey, but I don't know, man. I never got a Kessie jersey. I never was infatuated with him like that. No Chorino. Salernitana's in Inter's box right now. Oh, that's a great touch. Is he gonna rip it? No, of course not. Look like he could have been offside. It's gonna be on here for one more minute, guys. I genuinely appreciate all of you. Been live for 50 minutes. Hopefully, it was entertaining enough. It's just myself. I haven't been able to get Sant'Angelo on with me for some of these post-match games, so I try and do my thing here. Should we, you guys shipping to Australia? Good luck. You're looking up to at $300. Oh, jeez. But you guys don't have any options of like a Puma store down there. So Salernitana pushing right now. Again, Inter's just got this really low block shot. Missed. Salernitana are going to be wasting their chances. This year we'll get Teo and probably Pulisic. Yeah, I don't know. I might bite and get a Teo jersey, but I have a feeling I don't want to do that. But anyways, appreciate you guys so much. We were peaking at like 120 viewers. You guys are genuinely amazing. To just have this returning core of people that are always in here and commenting. Suso jersey. I think I have a Suso. My brother actually bought me a Suso jersey. Okay, so this one, the home kit, more baggy. Then I'll switch to my away kit right now, and then you can see how that is. 1 second. And then you have this. So that's what you kind of have there. So it's nice. It was much easier with Adidas, but customization, it makes it expensive. I'm sorry, Steph. Ryan, don't apologize for anything. No worries, man. Oh, and if you were Ryan, if you were the one commenting on the video, Sky Sport has sources, dude. It's a top newspaper in Italy. So when they have the projected 11 and it projected starting 11, if you look out for that, they usually have it because Gazzetta dello Sport is another magazine as well. Yeah, this kid is incredible. This I'll try and stand up, but overall, I mean, this is one of the nicest kits. Look how clean this is. Get a little bit closer so you can see the logo. It's genuinely just incredible. Just there haven't been many away kits there. I just want to say real quick, this haircut was a 10 out of 10. By the way, you guys were right. Pulisic with his weak foot is it's incredible, right, Ryan? Like you just see it. Like today, he had a switch of play to Leao. I don't know if you guys caught that. There's just so many instances through the game, but he sent it with his left foot. But again, highly suggest this kit if you get it. This was another decent away kit. The material is a little different. This is the authentic, so the material is like very, very, very thin. So yeah, but guys, appreciate it so much. I'm gonna head on out. You guys enjoy the rest of your weekend. You can enjoy another Saturday win from Milan. See you guys back for the Champions League. Sant'Angelo and I will be discussing this game, previewing that match. But other than that, thank you guys so much, and we'll see you next time.